All right. Oh, it's good to be home. All right, today we're talking about the Olympics one last time. My last video, I talked about my debrief of kind of my racing and performance and what my thoughts on that were. So today we're gonna be a little more positive, and we're gonna talk about the experience that I had. Normally, when I go to a race, I've been vlogging it the last 18 months, as you all know, and that requires me bringing a full camera bag. I've got 2 camera bodies, a couple lenses in there, the drone, an action camera, and this time I downsized by a lot. I brought 1 camera and 1 lens and an action camera, so I got a 360 cam here and my main photo camera. And I've gone through all the photos I took. There wasn't that many, about 100 I took over the week, and I've picked out my favorite 20. And we're gonna go through them today and talk about the story. So a few of them are pairs to show more of the story, and then the rest are kind of on their own. And the final part of the video will be a video off of this thing, and it's one of my favorite moments from the game. So stick around to the end to see that one. All right, let's get into it. I've got the 20 photos loaded up here on the computer, and we're gonna start going through them. Also, don't mind the outfit. It was raining not that long ago, so we're being prepared. So these first 2 photos here are a little bit interesting. So we got there about a week early, which is pretty normal for us in terms of getting to a race. But because it's the Olympics, they try to limit it and make it fair for everyone. So we weren't allowed on the track there until, I don't remember which day it was, but it was a certain day we could get on the track till. So we got there and we had to, I believe this is the Tuesday, so just about a week before racing. And we needed to do a training session and we couldn't get on the track. So we decided to do a Le Mans training session. And we actually weren't even allowed to be at the track venue because of the BMX was going on. So we did a Le Mans session in the parking garage of our hotel. So the first one here, you can see Sarah is on the rollers warming up. Our Cycling Canada team car in the back that they use for running errands and during the road race. And yeah, a new one for us. It was pretty hot down there, pretty dark. But we're all kind of crammed into our bike storage room. You can see our track bikes lined up here. We were rotating between 3 Le Mans and there was 8 of us. So that was a little bit hectic, but we managed. Kind of just wake up the legs. It wasn't a super hard session, but that was a fun way to start the trip. Next photo here, this is actually when we got to the track. This is our first training session on the track. Grabbing the kid out, happy to be there. See our pits decorated with the Canadian flags behind me. Pretty tight quarters. There were 18 athletes here on the first day crammed into the pit, which was quite tight. I don't have a picture of the whole pit, but believe me when I say it was pretty tight in there. This one here is fun. So Powerade sponsors the Olympics, so there's Powerade everywhere you go. There's lots of buckets around the track. Champ here, Dylan was a big fan of Powerade, so here's a nice little portrait of him chugging back a Powerade. Pretty chill for the first couple days there. Everyone's kind of relaxed, not quite super stressed, just enjoying being there. This is fun. I wanted to get a photo of Sarah with the ring, so this is, again, first day of track. We've got Paris2024 on there, one rider on the track in the background, and this is just in front of the podium. And it's all taped off, you can't go around it, can't walk on it. And then there's the rings in the background, just a training day, kind of with the bikes. This is a really cool moment because this was Sarah's first games, and I want to grab a photo of her with the rings, and it just, it all worked out. So moving on, there's a lot of pictures in here where we are shirtless because it was so hot in the track. Like incredibly hot. We had fans going all the time, ice vests when we needed them, drinking ice water. It was very hot in there, which is good for racing, but when you're just trying to cool down and chill, it can be a little much. So here's me on the rollers cooling down after the first track session. You can see this is a GB pit here, all their bikes lined up, and our pit you can see back in the corner. Okay, this was a lot of fun. So this photo here is of the BMX track. And because the BMX venue and the track venue were side by side, and we were staying at the same hotel as our Team Canada BMX rider, Molly, we went to go watch her race at her qualifying round. And this was super cool. I've never seen a BMX race. Good friend and teammate James came from BMX. He was kind of explaining it to us in the background beside me here. But being here at this venue, watching the Olympic BMX race was super cool. It was definitely one of the highlights of the trip. Really cool to see and witness and be there. The whole team was there cheering her on for the qualifying day. And yeah, that was fun to be part of. So we were in a hotel, and of course you know, it's catered and you're well taken care of. And But it comes to a certain point in the week where you start getting a little bit sick of the food, kind of just need to get out of the hotel. So this was our rest day, and we headed to a mall that was right beside the hotel and tried to find some food, grabbed coffee. So this is James on the left here, Dylan in the middle, Matthias on the right, and then me behind there. We're just chilling in the sun, grabbed a photo together. Sarah took this photo, and yeah, just trying to get out of the hotel on our rest day. This is the same day here, Matthias, so we had to, the road race actually went right through our town where we were staying right by the track, so we tried to, we were down sitting at the mall and we kind of heard the choppers coming and they were getting close, so we tried to make it to see them come past. We did miss it, but we had to walk up a flight of stairs. You can see here Matthias, he's a little bit gassed. We took that set of stairs extremely slowly. These next few photos are from our activation day before we started racing. So here's James getting an accreditation photo, which they put us all up on the Jumbotron when we were racing, so we had to get our portrait. So James is holding up his accreditation so they know who he is. Getting his photo taken here, he looks incredibly enthused. Tyler here, also very excited, looking good in his race suit. And then we got Sarah here, grabbing a bit of video for socials right before we started our training session. So yeah, that was, and going through all these photos just brings back the memories of the day. There were some really, really amazing moments at the games and some not so amazing ones, but going back and looking through these photos is, yeah, there was some fun. This next photo here, same day, activation day. This is the boys, me, Tyler, and James on the left here. Right after our training session, they got mad at me because I wasn't wearing the same suit as them. They've got the dark black shorts, I had the lighter black training suit on, they had their race suits on, and they said I messed up the photo, so. But I'm gonna call out Tyler and say he messed up the photo for wearing slides and not wearing his shoes like James and I. But this was our final session that before we lined up the next day for team sprint. Lots of excitement here. Just wanted to grab a photo with the boys. They were tired, trying to cool down. Again, very hot in there, but I forced them to take this photo with me. The last photo before the team sprint where I get dropped like a rock. Damn! All smiles that day because I was feeling good, and then it just didn't go so well the next day. Okay, these next two photos are two of the unsung hero of the games because without them, we absolutely could not race. So these guys are amazing. They took care of us the entire week. Bikes were always ready. Had trust in the equipment, which is incredibly important, and no matter what, they were there to take care of us. So Ryan and Avery, got a photo of them working on Tyler's bike here, getting it ready, and yeah, they got those two. They put in some crazy hours at the track, but couldn't do what we do without them. And then Avery here's working on my bike. He's putting cool down gear on in this photo for after a training session. They're in the background, but they're incredibly vital to our performance and us actually getting on the track that day. So big thank you to them. Okay, this is a photo of James and Tyler. This was right after we finished team sprint, our 7th and 8th final. James had his little disposable camera there for, I should see if he got those photos developed and see what they look like. I gotta ask him if he got them printed out or not. But this was right after team sprint, the 7th to 8th final. Super proud of these boys, first Olympics for them. And they were definitely on form on team sprint day, and I was not to support that. So big ups to them. They did really, really well. Okay. This is a photo that I did not want taken, but Sarah insisted she had to grab the camera out of the bag to take this photo. Like I said before, there was a certain point where we're starting to get sick of the food at the hotel, and this was part of it. So this was after sprint day, after a terrible 200 and a terrible couple of match sprints. Went to a restaurant down the street and grabbed a pizza, and that was probably some of the best pizza I've had in a long time. It wasn't even that good, but it was so good because it was the first food that I was excited to be eating in about 6 days. So here's me just eating a pizza on my bed in the hotel. So we had a few days off between racing for me. I had a 2-day gap between finishing sprint and starting Kieran. So I kind of put the camera away, mentally reset, just try and get focused up for the Kieran to come. And I took two photos only on our activation day for Kieran. Both of James, and this is just James in the warm-up area, so you can see Canadian flag. This is all of our stuff here in the middle. James is on rollers cooling down. We've got the GB bikes here, and the GB bikes in the back. It was right beside our warm-up area, but Team Canada basically fully occupied this warm-up area. So yeah, you can see our Le Monde and our rollers and my road bikes here in the corner. and then just James cooling down. So this here is another moment of finding some good food. This is a area just outside of the track, inside the BMX athlete lounge. You can see this is the BMX track in the background here, and James just chilling. I told him to pose for a photo. So this is to the left here, like a little lounge area, eating area where we had some food. We had a delicious shepherd's pie, and again, just a kind of moment to be out of the hotel, reset, and get ready for racing, which was to come the next day. So this is the last photo that I have on my camera roll to share. This was the first of 2 Kieran days. I didn't take any photos on the last day. And this was the moment that James and I had both gotten through to the quarterfinals. Me on a relegation. We had to wait for James because there was a crash in his heat on the last lap, and they made them rerun the race. So it was a bit of an interesting time period, and while we were in the pit, a bit of tension. I'd been selected for doping control at that point, so I was kind of just waiting in the pit to see what happened in his race. He's basically just getting off the track here, and grabbed a quick photo together. So both of us making it through to the quarterfinal with the legs we had was really big for us, and clearly you can see quite a bit of excitement here, and just that was definitely the highlight of the racing when we both got through to the quarterfinals. It was a bit of a battle to get to those quarterfinals, but yeah, just a really, really good moment for us to get through, and yeah, we were definitely excited. So that wraps up the 20 photos that I've selected, and let's move on to my absolute favorite part. So I only used this camera on the last day. I didn't bring it out at all before because I just wanted to focus on just taking the photos, but I knew that I wanted to capture this on video, and I'm so glad that I did, because watching this video and just remembering all the emotions that we had on this final day was just crazy. Like, walking out with the team here into the stadium, you can see like how beautiful the sunset was, all the lights, all the people. This was probably one of the most surreal moments of my entire life, because you grow up watching the Olympics and you see the opening and the closing ceremonies and Team Canada walking out together, and that's what I want to be a part of. I want to be part of Team Canada and experience an Olympic Games. And having missed out on closing and opening in Tokyo, and then obviously not being able to go to opening because it's before we were in Paris, just being with the team was one of the craziest moments of my life. Just it's hard to describe the feeling, but you just have 80,000 people in the stands just cheering for you, the athletes, and it's just a moment of celebration. You know, all the medalists in Team Canada had their medals on, and that's just amazing to see. And the closing ceremony is just a big celebration of what the last 2 weeks had been, and to be part of that with the other athletes, and yeah, it was amazing. That concludes the footage and the photos that I have from the Olympic Games, and just wanted to share the really good experience that Paris was, aside from the racing competition, because you work so hard so many years to get to this moment. And I just wanted to, when we got here to closing ceremonies, all it was about was just celebrating being there, really, because at that moment I'd forgotten about racing. Just put that to the side for now and just focus on being in the moment in that stadium. And it was amazing. It was magical. So I promised you guys in my last video that I would share a more positive video about the experience, and this has definitely been it. So for now, we continue to rest and reset and focus on what's to come. So again, thank you all for being here. It means so much to me. And we'll be back with more videos very soon. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you in the next video, which is going to be very soon. All right, bye.